Hello, my name is Paul Boag and you're watching First Impressions, a video series produced in conjunction with the lovely people at Balsamiq. They send me a link to check out that's been submitted to their website. I go and look at it and give you my first impressions, unedited, unscripted. We just take a look at the site, give a little bit of a critique, a little bit of usability testing. So let's dive in and see what they've sent me this time. The website they have sent through is called Awardify, awardify.io, which is a full suite human-friendly online awards system, one presumes, or app. I can't say I'm overly impressed by that first strapline. Unfortunately, it's good in some ways. It says it's an online awards platform, I'm guessing. But full suite, human friendly, not quite sure what that means. A full suite in preference to a half-assed app, and human friendly in preference to what, a robot friendly app. So I think the strapline needs a little bit of work. Sorry, I've been rude straight out of the gate. That's not very nice of me. But yeah, I mean, at least it says it's it says what it is, which is an online awards. Great. Good clear call to action straight out of the gate. The fact that the name of the product actually describes what they do is great. The fact they've got an illustration that shows someone getting an award, that's great as well. Silly little thing, but I would probably flip that image so that he's looking into the page rather than out of the page. It's a ridiculously small thing, but it will focus the user onto the text rather than drawing their eye off the page, because we tend to follow the eye line of figures that we see, even illustrative ones like that. Right, let's scroll down the page and see we've got flexible award structure. So it looks like it's an app. Complete control over every category, simple, straightforward judging, designed to make you shine. Mobile friendly, online payments, public voting, sponsors, and data export and personal support. Okay, so I like that. A clear set of features that it offers and associated benefits. The only one that stands out a little bit to me is this designed to make you shine, because all the rest are features, right? It offers a flexible award structure. It provides control over every category. It's straightforward to judge. It's mobile friendly. It allows online payments. It allows public voting. It includes sponsors. And then you've got this design to shine. I'm not quite sure what this is. With a comprehensive admin panel, user-friendly members area for entry submissions. Right, okay. So it's so you probably just want to reword that as something like a user-friendly interface. Something along those lines. Design to shine suddenly kind of goes into marketing speak, where you've been so clear and straightforward everywhere else. So I really like that. I'm not seeing, let's go down to data export, personal support, human friendly awards from $540. So then we get to pricing. I'm not seeing a demo anywhere. Or any videos or anything like that. Are these clickable? No. So it's just like a single page site, which is fine. No problem with a single page site. But it would be good if we had some demos of some of this kind of stuff rather than just graphics. This is great because I can see how that works. I feel like I need a little bit more here to show off some of those different areas. Maybe some videos, maybe a slideshow. The mobile friendly stuff is fine. The online payment stuff is fine. Public voting, maybe, to see a little bit more there would be good. Sponsors are saved as a library to reduce your setup work each year. You can add sponsors to an award season and assign them to it. So again, I'd like to be able to see how to do that a little bit rather than just a set of logos, which doesn't really help as much. I want to see the interface. Whenever there's an application, you want to see how it works, and dig into it a little bit more. Or even like just a video, one of these short, minute and a half videos that runs through the product a little bit would be hugely useful. But that said, this is a good case study of clearly showing what it is you do. Set aside the strapline for a minute. It clearly lays out how it works, what features it offers in a very straightforward manner, and I really like that. Some of the other sites that we've reviewed in this season could really do with being that clear and concise. Let's have a look at pricing, because that's always a big one. Human-friendly awards from 540. This human-friendly thing, really don't get that. I know what they're kind of getting at. They're saying it's intuitive, easy, but then say it's intuitive and easy rather than human friendly. It seems a bit kind of marketing BS to me. But anyway, from $540 per year. Now, it's a yearly price. Okay. Now, instinctively, I want to kind of go 540 divided by 12. And the reason that I want to do that is because most other apps I come across have a monthly fee structure. And so I'm trying to judge. I wonder whether they do monthly. Let's have a look. No, it's all per year pricing. So if I wanted to run, so yeah, that's a little bit sneaky because, not sneaky, but because I want to run an award over, you have a X amount of time where people can submit an award, you run the award, and then that's done for a year. So it's, to say it's a year isn't, 540 per award session, basically. So that feels quite expensive to me. And we'll come on a little bit. I think it's worth having a conversation about pricing because I think this might be the thing here. Let's have a look what we get. It's from as well, which always makes me nervous, because actually they mean it's more than that. So 540 a year gives you up to 50 entries. That's not that many depending on what it is you do. Unlimited categories and groups, one online payments, one free domain, award website customized to your brand, hosting hosted on a private server. So does that mean I'm hosting it rather than them? So it's not software as a service. That's a little bit buried there. So how does this work? Daily backups, ongoing platform improvements, bug fixes. This feels like it should be software as a service. I'm not quite sure why it's not. Then standards, you get everything from the starter plus unlimited entries. So really, it's $840 in most cases. I'm not sure what one award channel is. So that's slightly confusing. I think there needs to be some explanation around that. Here we go. So there's some more pricing stuff going on here. So in some ways, this pricing looks very clear, right? And at least they're not hiding the price. I hate it. How many sites have you gone to where they actually hide the price? They don't tell you how much the flipping thing costs. So at least they've been upfront with the price, which is great. And on the surface, it looks very clear. Nice columns and all the rest of it. But then, you got some ambiguity as to what a channel involves. And then they start being a little bit sneaky. We've suddenly got a one-time setup fee of $995. That's a big setup fee, which is not surprising if it's something that's going to be hosted on my own platform, right? If that's what that means. But does a private server mean they set up a dedicated machine just for my awards, which seems like overkill? So I'm a little confused around what's going on there. And so we got another $995 on top of it for the first time you run it. So if you're talking about running a new awards that you haven't run before, this is an expensive option. And then looks like there's add-ons as well. Why are these not included by default? It feels like they're kind of grabbing a little bit money from me. Why? Surely public voting should be included by default, right? It seems like they're adding extras. So, okay. How would I deal with this differently? Pricing is always a tricky one to get right? So you've got to present it in the right light. Now, there probably are damn good reasons why they've approached pricing in the way they have, right? So I'm guessing that this doesn't. It kind of paints itself as a software as a service app a little bit in the way that it's presented. I just made that assumption. But it looks like, in actual fact, if I'm reading between the lines right, it's actually a bespoke setup for every particular client, So with the fact that it's hosted on their own server gives me that impression. The fact that they talk about personal support having a dedicated developer and all of those kinds of things makes me think it's probably more bespoke than it's being sold as. I've worked with clients that have got similar kind of setups before, and what I've done is I've encouraged them to instead of trying to hide that potential weakness, is actually turn that weakness into a strength, okay? And I would actually double down on the fact that this isn't an off-the-shelf product, right? That it's actually a bespoke, custom-tailored product to your specific organizational needs, right? So where we talk about full suite human-friendly online awards, I would be tempted to go for, a bespoke online awards platform, or online awards tailored to your specific requirements, something along those lines. And then in the list of features, make it very clear, look, this is customized and tailored to your specific requirements, all right? Because then I'm not going through this going, well, why can't, why is the price so high? What you're doing then is suddenly the price looks a lot cheaper, because instead of this being just another SaaS project, I'm getting a dedicated, developer working on customizing my installation of this product. And suddenly it looks a lot better value. Suddenly the one-time setup fee makes a lot more sense. You've actually emphasized a little bit the benefits of that one-time setup, but I'm not sure you're doing it in the right place. So look, you're talking about one-to-one dedicated developer. Yeah, wow, that's great. That sounds great. Comprehensive training for your staff. Yeah, that's great. Personalized configuration. All of these things I think will almost need to go up here as part of the features. All right. So it's not saying that they shouldn't be repeated when you talk about the setup fee, but double down on the fact that you're providing a bespoke solution. Because what you're doing then is you're effectively framing the product in a different way. And in particular, you're framing the price in a different way. Because no price has got like an intrinsic value to it, if that makes sense. Or no product has got an intrinsic value. So if I showed you something and you didn't know what that thing was, it has no inherent intrinsic value, okay? Its value comes from context, right? From what other people charge for the similar thing, or how much that thing is worth to me in my situation, in my context. So how we frame our pricing is very important. One way of framing it is by saying this is bespoke, this is tailored to you, so that immediately makes it feel more valuable. We can also frame it in other ways, We can talk about we can frame it by comparing it to other things. So you could compare the price of doing this to building something from scratch yourself in-house. You could frame it by comparing it to some enterprise system that someone else is providing and that you're cheaper to. Because at the moment, my initial reaction when I arrived, we frame everything. When I arrived, I immediately thought, this is software as a service like, I don't know, Buffer or Dropbox or something like that. So immediately that sets me looking at a monthly fee of, maybe $30 to $40, right? And then you get hit by this big one-time fee, and suddenly hang on a minute, I don't have to deal with that normally, and hang on a minute, this is yearly. So how you frame it is very important. Right, anyway, let's stop talking about pricing. Let's look at getting started. Right. Now, I'm guessing my initial reaction when I first arrived on the site was thinking I was going to log straight into something, create an account, log in, start configuring. But I'm guessing that's not the case now that I understand that this is bespoke. Right, let's see what I get. Yeah, I get effectively a contact us form. Okay, so we've got name, email address. Yeah, see, some of these fields are required and some aren't. Don't ask people for a phone number if it's not a required field, right? Why do you need to know the organization? Why do you need to know where I'm located? Yes, you might need to know that information later, but come on, let's get the contact. Remove these fields. You can ask people them later. Just get the bare minimum you need to actually make contact with people. Again, all of this. I mean, subscription level is a required field. I've got no clue what subscription level I need at this stage. Oh, well, I can tick not sure. Well, why ask in the first place then? I don't know what add-ons I need. Now, when can I be reached? Do you know what? This obviously is valuable because we want to book in say maybe a call, but then we're initially probably going via email anyway. I think what I would do actually is reposition this whole thing. Okay, so instead of calling it Get Started, I think I would instead go for referring to it as Book a Demo, or speak to one of our consultants or something like that, and then turn it into a meeting booking form. All right. So what you could do is you could use a tool like Calendly. I don't know whether you're familiar with this. It allows people to see your calendar and schedule a meeting accordingly. So if we visit my own website, you can actually book in a meeting directly yourself. So you can click on book a meeting and it opens up in Calendly. And you can see all of my availability over the coming month. You can pick a day, you can pick a time that you want a meeting, and then you go ahead and book it in. So that way it would give people a lot more control over their kind of schedule, and also it kind of establishes that what we're talking about here is is a bespoke, tailored solution rather than you're just signing up for another SaaS service. So that's really about all that I think I want to say. I mean, it's only a single page website, so there's only so much that can say, but let's briefly recap. Having a strap line that clearly defines what you're providing is incredibly important. Communicating what features you have is incredibly important, and they do that very well. When you're talking about pricing, framing is everything. You want to make it very clear that you are, what people are getting, how that compares to the competition. You want to frame it in the context of something that makes the pricing look good and positive. And don't give the impression you're something you're not. Don't come across in this case as a SaaS app when actually you're bespoke. If you're a freelancer working by yourself, don't pretend to be an agency, and so it goes on. And then with your call to action, whenever you're asking people to complete a form, always make sure that form contains the minimum number of fields that is required to get you in contact with the person. So lots to learn from Awardify. Hopefully you found that video useful. Thanks to them for being brave enough to share it. But until next time, thanks for watching.